my bartender at the Delta Lounge was someone that identified themselves to me as a queer person, a trans individual. Every single TV in the Delta Lounge was playing Fox News.
Can I tell you something funny? The TVs were on mute.
I still support you speaking to lawyers about a hostile work environment because that's crazy. And the person who made this policy, they need to be fired. And they will get fired.
Everything is a lawsuit. And it's like, oh my God. Like, we're in this country.
Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gaze, where we take on insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson
What's
Lawson.
up, guys? Before we get started, we are reacting to your voice notes and your voicemails of your tragic lives. Actually, no, some of you guys are really good. So make sure you
genital herpes situation.
Yeah, well, that one was a little crazy. But make sure you join as a member and send in your voice notes,
and donate to the Blossom GoFundMe if you can. We're trying to get our money up so we can have the one and only powerhouse Blossom C. Brown on our podcast.
Yeah,
it'll be really funny.
I'm excited about that because it's going to be like more lighthearted.
We've got like $1,000 already. Y'all stepped up, but if you even get us closer to the 2,500, maybe we can pick up the rest. But we don't have all the coins in the world for her.
Not right now.
She's a pricey queen. Anyway, let's talk about a lesbian TikTok Karen who called the manager on Delta Airlines because of a supposed hate crime and traumatic incident that happened. Her name is Traveling Nurse Alex.
God, I'm so tired of gays and lesbians. And
you might recognize her. She's a pretty popular content creator. You won't from this, but from her actual videos, you might.
Oh my God, wait! I think she was in.
She was in the show. Yeah,
she was in
briefly.
the show, the reality show that I filmed.
She was, yeah,
and she said some crazy.
She is. She's like a toxic woke leftist.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's a lesbian, over 1 million TikTok followers, and she decided to go on a little Karen rant after she had a terrible, traumatic experience at a Delta airport lounge in DC. Anyway, let's watch her video.
Someone in leadership at Delta Airlines at the DCA airport is forcing their queer employees to listen to hate speech every single day at work. So last month, on the first day of Pride Month, first day of June, I was witness to some really gross homophobia at the hands of Delta Airlines. And I don't know what to do because I submitted a complaint to their formal complaint line and they never got back to me. So I am bringing it to the internet. Last month.
Wait, I'm going to pause here. Do you have a guess? Like something really bad must have happened, right?
I'm guessing they're playing something like having to do with like screenings and stuff.
Screenings?
I don't know. I'm like, it's the airport, so maybe it's like something like.
But it's a lounge.
In the lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, so a lounge is playing something.
Yeah. Well, she said they were subjected to hate speech, and she witnessed homophobia in a lounge.
But she said they're employees.
Yes, like the people that work in the lounge.
I genuinely have no idea because Delta is so woke. Never.
You understand? It's hate speech. It's
yeah.
Terrible, terrible things have happened that we're going to learn about.
June 1st, I was flying for work. I flew Delta One from LAX to DC. And when I landed in DC, I went to the Delta Lounge to grab some lunch. And my bartender at the Delta Lounge was someone that identified themselves to me as a queer person, a trans individual. Every single TV in the Delta Lounge was playing Fox News, and the conversation that was happening on Fox News.
This is the hate crime that happened. The number one cable news station in America was on.
I want out. I want out. And I want out. I'm so over this.
She literally got up and she's like,
I was in the Delta Lounge and they were playing Fox News. I want you to go talk to a starving kid in Africa and tell them your problems, please.
Or like literally any gay person who experienced actual discrimination, any trans person who's been hate crime.
Go talk to a gay person in Afghanistan and tell them that in the Delta Lounge they played Fox News.
Can I tell you something funny that I actually, because these were long gaps that she posted, so I edited them down. I don't think I left it in. The TVs were on mute. But she's like, but they were exposed to the captions. And it's like, girl, they could literally just not look at it. Like, it's not that hard.
Oh my God.
And
do we know if she's actually lesbian?
She has it in her bio. Of course, these days, who knows? But I think she actually is.
Okay.
And she's like the worst kind of lesbian, too.
Well, she's an LA lesbian.
Ugh.
God.
But can you imagine? But isn't that such a condescending view of a trans employee that they are somehow like fragile adults that the biggest cable news, whether you like it or hate it, and frankly, since Trump became president again, I really am very critical of Fox and its
Me
coverage.
too.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure that when it comes to trans stuff or whatever, they broadcast
Yeah, no,
some
I
stuff
can't
that
stand
sucks.
Fox News. But like,
Cope, be
is
an
this
adult.
really the example we should be setting for gay Americans, that they should be this fragile to where they can't handle opposing views?
And it wasn't even playing out loud. That's the crazy.
just-
Even if it was, it wouldn't matter. It's like, get over it.
Right.
But so did you hear America might get its first DSA, Democratic Socialists of America governor?
In what state?
Wisconsin.
I thought that was Michigan.
Nope. That's a different one. That would be a senator, but he's actually not technically DSA. Anyway, we're talking about Francesca
God.
Hong.
I'm very upset with the Democratic Party right now.
What, you don't want to abolish the police and prisons and have open borders?
They're doing the same thing that this populist movement, it's going to crumble in like 5 years, and then we're going to be back where we started.
What you're about. Everything's going amazing. Well, at least you could get in on it all. We're looking at the odds from our channel partners at Kalshi. Francesca Hong, who's affiliated with the Democratic Socialists of America, has an 81% chance of becoming the Democratic nominee for governor in the upcoming midterm election. And if elected, she would be the first DSA governor in America. What could possibly go wrong having a DSA-aligned candidate running a state? Anyway, guys, the future of politics is happening on Kalshi, the first CFTC-regulated exchange dedicated to trading on the outcome of future events. If you want to follow the elections and the midterms and the swings and the balance of power and all of that on Kalshi, go ahead and sign up. Just get the mobile app on your phone or click the link in the description and use code BRADP when you sign up to get $20 free when you trade $20 now. Now back to the show.
I don't know. It's annoying because I feel like if you genuinely care about gay and trans people, you should be empowering them to withstand adversity, not weakening them
and not
in the face of
hallucinate it.
Like, obviously, the shit that Fox News puts out is not ideal, specifically on the trans front. Yeah. They don't really do a lot of gay shit, but on the trans front, a lot of the stuff they do is just fear-mongering, whatever. But the solution for the trans community is not to cower whenever they hear or see that. It's to be able to withstand it and counter it with better ideas.
And to act as if it's like somehow a hate crime. Also, like 90+% of the time, Fox News is not talking about trans people.
Yeah.
Now, when they are, I agree. They talk about it in some pretty harsh and hurtful ways. They absolutely sensationalize it. It's on mute.
Yeah.
And this is a bartender. It's like she's acting like they're being taped to a chair and like forced to watch this thing. I go to lounges all the time where there's cable news on mute and I don't look at it.
No.
It's not that hard.
It's literally, they're just serving their clientele, which is all of America. And I hate to break it to you, but half of America watches that type of shit.
Actually, like more.
Yeah, more. Anybody who watches cable, I mean, it's number one, right?
Yeah, by a lot. Anyway,
So-
I'll roll the rest of this.
Fox News was literally talking about how like queer people are a social contagion, how like being gay needs to be like eradicated, how like gay marriage is an issue. They like said something to the tune of,
I promise you, I'm sorry that no one said
Fox doesn't say that.
No one on Fox News says being gay needs to be eradicated.
No.
Now they might say transgenderism needs to be eradicated.
Yeah, but they really don't.
A statement that I don't agree with.
They don't touch on the gays that much.
Not that much. And the other thing is, she said, they say being queer is a social contagion. To the extent they say, first off, it is. Queer.
The identity of queer.
Being gay is not a social contagion.
No.
Having gender dysphoria,
that is
like
not.
hardcore, is not a social contagion. Non-binary,
Social
contagion.
Absolutely.
Suddenly feeling trans when you're a 13-year-old girl and have never had an ounce of gender dysphoria in your life, and all of a sudden there's 5 in your class, also a social contagion.
Yeah.
Like, I love this. They act like that's some conspiracy theory, as if that's not how every single psychological condition it works among teenagers.
Mm-hmm. Social
you
contagion.
have to bleep out that word, but it starts with an A.
Yeah.
And Ariana Grande seems like she has it, right? That one girl in a class will get it, and then multiple girls will have it. It's like, of course, some of this stuff can be a social contagion. But she's acting like that means. Oh, sorry, I'm crashing out.
No, if they were saying stuff like being gay is wrong or trans people deserve XYZ, then I would say, yeah, that's bad to play.
But it's almost like we're missing the point. We're talking about whether the Fox News takes are hurtful or bad or whatever. it's not a fucking hate crime to have it playing on mute in a
No,
lounge.
it's not. But I'm saying
Yes.
even to add any validity to her claim, they would have to be saying some outrageous stuff. But what pisses me off is when they classify logical opposing viewpoints as hate speech in order to shut them down. And like, how has that worked for you guys?
Terribly. But they just double down
how
on
have
it.
you not learned? Because clearly the social contagion argument is a strong one. Like, logically speaking,
And some of it is real.
And some of
it might be
is real.
overblown. But
So you can say it's overblown, but to classify it as hate speech and it needs to be silenced immediately, if you really want to go down the hate speech route of saying, like, you shouldn't say these things, which I don't agree with because I'm low-key like a free speech absolutist, but if you want to go down that route, you should be very careful not to classify opposing viewpoints that are logical as hate speech, because then it just devalues your whole
they
claim.
really don't, like people like this don't even draw a distinction between the views that people like you or I espouse and like Matt Walsh.
Yeah,
right?
they don't.
It's all the same. It's all hate. It's just absurd. Anyway.
Good God.
She also like went hard as a Karen on this situation, filing complaints, calling managers. She explains it all. Let's listen.
Tune of like transgenderism needs to be eradicated, and I was in shock that they were playing this in the Delta Lounge. And I looked at the bartender and I was like, hey, are we able to like change the channel? This is really gross. And the bartender looked so upset and was like, I wish I could. I am not allowed to change the channel from Fox News. I was really grossed out by that. I cannot believe that a queer identifying individual would be forced to sit and listen to the most homophobic channel on public television every day in their workplace. And all of the patrons that stop by the Delta Lounge, including myself, I'm a lesbian. I don't want to hear hate speech when I go to the Delta Lounge.
Well, tough
Yeah, I don't know.
we all don't want to hear speech we don't like.
It exists. Stop bearing. You have no right to walk around in public and not hear anything you disagree with. And it's interesting because for a long time, I think they stopped, but for a long time, CNN had a deal where airports would have CNN on all the TVs.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, a lot of people were exposed to stuff they found outrageous and offensive from CNN.
Yeah.
And I would have laughed at them if they claimed that was somehow an affront to their dignity or like an attack on them or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. These people have the emotional self-regulation of toddlers.
Mm-hmm.
But then the reason this is a scourge is that they get their way.
Did she get her way?
Yeah, she got her way.
Of course
Totally.
She did.
The Karen,
and it's only going to empower her.
And so they'll come back. Next time it'll be like...
But the thing is like, I don't want Fox News on either, but like, I don't agree with the way she's doing this.
I mean, I want to know what's on Fox News. I watch Fox News. I watch CNN. I watch MS Now.
Yeah.
But I watch the clips. But it's like, I would probably have one TV on Fox and one on MS Now.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, that's what they do at gyms.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Also, it's a DC lounge.
That's a good point. It's literally like, everyone's political and paying attention to politics.
And there's no, is the allegation that every TV had Fox News on?
Or that at least some, and they weren't allowed to turn it off.
Well, probably because they needed a variety.
Maybe.
Yeah, I
feel like that would be a Delta thing. Like, we needed all, and it's also DC is run by
Republicans,
Fox News people, right?
Yeah, but you're right though. What if she omitted from the story that there were also the other networks on?
Yeah.
But she feels entitled to not even have Fox represented.
I can only imagine if it's a DC lounge, they probably have.
I don't know. It's possible it was all just Fox,
CNN,
but
like the lounge we were in the other day had Fox on one TV, MS Now on another.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
But of course, this pisses me off more than the original shit. When they cave to these people, because they only become more and more unreasonable and more unhinged the more you feed the trolls.
Yep.
And this lesbian TikTok or whatever is a victimhood merchant, right? A troll constantly seeking for the next like little quest to make herself feel good.
Disempowering our community for her own gain. That's what she's doing.
And anyway, listen to her report back gleefully about how she got her way.
Delta got back to me. And not only did Delta get back to me, they said, hey, we want to chat with you, but we're going to do a full internal investigation first because we don't want to waste your time. I with that. I respect that. They did their full investigation. Today they got back to me and they told me that I was indeed correct and that the DCA Airport Lounge was violating company policy by forcing people to watch Fox News. They said the situation was remedied. It would never happen again. And actually, leaders from every single Delta lounge in the country had been made aware of my video and of that situation. And they had essentially made an example of the DCA airport, which now, while I really respect this, I do still, if this ever gets back to the staff member that I talked to, I still support you speaking to lawyers about a hostile work environment, because that's crazy. And the person who made this policy, if they weren't fired because I wasn't given details as to how the situation was handled, they need to be fired. And they will get fired if you sue. And you will likely make a lot of money. Like a lot of money. Because that's insane. And I will back you up as a witness. So message me.
I'll back you up as a witness. And then they had Fox News on, and it was probably on mute, but they had the closed captions, and they said something that hurt my fifis. That's also work environment, so give me money.
Brad, you're crashing out.
I hate this.
I don't have to crash out this episode because Brad has got it covered.
Makes me so mad.
Well, what was I going to say? I don't know. I'm distracted.
It's not a hostile work environment because a cable channel is on in the background. You're making a mockery of people who've been abused.
Sometimes my issue is that they're really just abusing our legal system at this point.
Oh, it's lawfare for days, man.
Everything is a lawsuit, and it's like, oh my God, like we're fucked in this country. Everything is a lawsuit. God. Well, you know what? Whatever. I don't know.
America was good while it lasted.
The gays were good while we lasted, but now we're just a bunch of cucks who get offended over YouTube or over cable news channels.
Imagine that you're like a gay rights activist who, like, you know, got punched by cops at Stonewall or something, or, you know, of course, it was all black. Yeah. It was only black. It was all
Marsky Johnson.
There was literally no white gay men involved. But imagine hypothetically a gay man that was involved. That was like police brutality victim, fighting for gay rights to not be erased from society. Fast forward, if you could show them a lesbian bitch whining on TikTok because she was in a lounge and Fox News saying stuff that compared to everything that was mainstream then is actually not even crazy. She thinks that it's a victimhood lawsuit.
This is like, she has the qualities of like the worst LA girl with like the worst woke person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just all in one.
Deport.
And the crazy part is like, I don't with Fox News.
Me either.
Like neither of us with Fox News, but this is just, it's honestly, it's performative for content. Yeah. She saw it on there.
No, I disagree. I think she believes this.
No, she probably believes it, but then thinks this is a great content opportunity.
What a little moment for me.
But but the thing is all of these types of people, they're not actually offended. It is all performative. So even if she might not even, it might be a subconscious thing that she's just like performs for this type of attention, but she saw this as a situation where, oh, I can perform my morality for whoever the audience is, whether it's the bartender. Oh, well, the bartender's trans. Now I can perform it for TikTok, or I can write this message to seem like I'm just such a woke queen.
How funny would it be if the bartender was actually not that pressed about this, but was just like, yeah, it is annoying. She's like, this is so bad. This is traumatic. You should sue.
What if the bartender put it on?
And oh yeah.
I mean, the thing is like they performed an investigation, and it's like if it wasn't mandated, somebody put it on.
Yeah.
So
maybe it wasn't mandated. It doesn't matter. It's like, but I can't stand these spineless corporations caving to these irrational people. I mean, you just encourage them. It's like, what's that? The fish stuff they throw in the water and the sharks come, like the fish guts.
Chum.
This is chum in the waters for the most insufferable, brain broken Karens.
Yeah, I know. And it's all mostly kids.
What is the audience?
Yeah.
I think that's cope. I don't
think it's cope. I think it's mostly young.
I think it's stunted young adults.
Or 18, 19, 20-year-olds who are just now navigating the world, and they think it's too complex and they're overwhelmed, and they blame all of their problems on everyone else.
And this is a good point, too, where it's like so much actual consequential bad stuff is happening that people like this feel helpless about. But they're like, oh, but I can make a scene about Fox News in a lounge.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just them flailing because they feel so helpless.
Well, yeah, they're grasping at straws. But it's this type of behavior doesn't work. Like that's why Trump is in office.
Really, it is bitches like the most toxic, annoying, woke everything in a nutshell.
This is literally an encapsulation of why people voted for Trump.
Mm-hmm. I like Caleb Hammer does this thing. I know I'm obsessed.
Yeah, you are.
Where he's like, one of the non-binaries or girls on there, and he'll be like, no. You have blue hair. We don't listen to blue hair people anymore.
Until 2028, and then it's going to go back. Which, I mean, let's just hope it's a moderate liberal.
We'll
see.
Anyway, I think we're going to leave it there for that one. But we're going to do some member comments now. So, Dr. Producer on the mic. I forgot. I'm sorry. I want to read a couple comments from the actual video that I found hilarious from her first video. Fox News should be banned in all public places was the top comment.
It's a little authoritarian. That sounds a little Clarkistani.
Which it would,
the thing is it would be banned in Clarkistan.
Because it's a dystopia.
Yeah, but just not, I don't agree with that in America.
Thanks for speaking up for the employees who can't speak up for themselves. The savior complex are crazy.
I know that just fed her ego. Like, I'm such a good person.
As a flight attendant, if I see the hotel lobbies have propaganda on TV in the lobby, I turn it off and hide the remote.
Newsflash, all cable news is propaganda.
I was about to say, one, correct.
Yeah.
If you think MS Now is not propaganda,
it all
give me a
is.
break. But also, these are women grasping at straws who think that they're making some kind of difference by hiding a remote at a hotel in a couch cushion.
It's lazy activism, and nobody wants to call it
go
that.
Feed a homeless person.
That's
It's like... Anyway, those are a couple comments from that, but now we will go to our member comments.
Okay, so the first one is the one you were talking about earlier. They say you should do a fat phobic test. It's honestly a toss-up. Which one of you would be more
It's
fat
really
phobic?
not.
It's not a toss-up.
It's not remotely. Though
I'm a way better person than
So
Brad.
I actually have a thought on this. You know how the homophobia and racism test had dimensions? It was like one was like internal, one was like societal, whatever.
Yeah.
You would be more internally
I don't think that's
fat-phobic.
true.
Yes, you would, because it'd be questions like, if I think I have fat, it disgusts me or fills me with self-hatred.
Oh, yes.
Like that kind of thing, you'd be worse than me.
Correct.
But then on the all society, interpersonal, all that, I'd be the worst.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I think so.
Next one is, I got an ad for customizable neopronoun pins while watching this.
Damn, Google's not stereotyping our customers, right?
You know what? It's like before, like we are hijacking their economy. This podcast is.
We'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Send us those ads, because the thing is now that ad could have went on to a market that would have actually bought it, but instead it went to ours. And I know none of y'all are buying that.
No, though we always, when I look at like our Spotify stats, it does be showing that like 2% non-binary. I'm like,
look,
we want y'all to keep watching.
I believe in non-binary.
No, you don't. Shut the
a spiritual sense.
He's
of
capping.
No, I'm not. Of like masculine and feminine
That's
spiritually.
just called personality. It's just your personality.
But if you look at it from an esoteric perspective, you believe in like yin and yang, you can understand why somebody would look and try to encapsulate both. I just don't think it's necessary to take it to another step.
It's not
and
a
coerce
gender,
people,
not an identity.
To use specific pronouns, and then also make it a part of your identity.
Okay.
Because if everybody has yin and yang, then you're not special for acknowledging yours.
Or at all.
Boom.
Thank you for that little Buddhist teaching this evening. It's very nice. Next one. My cousin-in-law unironically uses fae, fair pronouns, and it's beyond ridiculous. I wish I could add a screenshot.
Fae, faux femme.
That is your favorite.
That's a body positive fae fair.
Yeah. That was from last week's video, right?
Yeah.
Fae fair. What is that?
Like fairies. Like
that's
fairy
what it's.
That's like a old school.
It's like Tumblr.
Neo pronouns, like the original.
That's like 2014 Tumblr era.
Yeah.
I just don't know what else to say to this shit, man.
Other than slurs, that's all that comes to mind.
It's just so stupid.
Next one is completely off topic, but my kitten is obsessed with Clarkson. She would run across the bedroom and rub her head on the TV when it's a shot of only him.
Please love me.
Ew!
Wait, let me say that in a straight voice. Hold on. Please love me, bro.
That was not a straight voice.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Please love me.
Still not working.
I'm a man who goes after the pussy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Very convincing.
Okay.
Next one. Imagine if in that drag episode, Brad dons fishnets. Dare him to do it, Clarkson.
To wear fishnets?
Yeah.
By all means. Wear fishnets.
But then if anyone photographs me in the fishnets...
this is about that picture, the upskirting. I'll wear fishnets.
The non-existent upskirt.
Yeah. The drag episode, my boyfriend will not be seeing because I know that he already told me that he will not watch it.
Stop upskirt.
Oh my God. I'm like, wait, does he have an itch?
I did not know what was happening.
Yeah, my boyfriend will not be watching that episode because I want him to remain sexually attracted
He'll
to
get
me.
the ick.
Yeah,
That's
he'll
fine.
get the ick.
Yeah, right, okay. Next.
3 minutes ago, I was in the middle of this video in the bedroom at work, and Brad's voice booms, "Who needs this level of specificity about who they wanna F?" In our main office area, when my colleagues were trying to set up the audio for a presentation and the TV connected via Bluetooth to my phone. Big boomer moment there.
Ooh.
I hope that.
Did you at least tell them to
they
all
now
subscribe?
watch. I know. I was like, I hope
right?
they all now watch Normal Gays. Way to introduce them. Everybody play us at your work.
Nope, don't do that. That's a very bad idea.
We should make a work-friendly episode.
What would it
that
be?
you can share with your colleagues.
Yeah, I
But
don't know what
it would just be such a poor representation of
Yeah.
what
I know.
the other
Well,
ones.
it's like the red pill pipeline. Like we slowly introduce them to it.
We need a color pill for you guys. You have to think about that. What your color is.
I don't.
Next one. In all seriousness, Leanna's attitude makes me pro-capitalist.
Oh, yeah, Leanna. I was thinking about this. People like that are exactly why we can't have socialism. It's like some people
Actually,
will literally
yeah,
just leech
because
off everyone.
If everybody worked very hard, no matter what the incentive was, then you could have like a socialist
Right.
utopia. But
we have
unfortunately,
leeches.
we have people like Leanna, and also that mindset is contagious. The more you give people things, that's why you can't feed the wild animals, okay? Because they become dependent on it. Humans are also animals. Leanna specifically.
Okay, last one is not to be desperate, but I'd take Clarkson playing matchmaker if it ever happens.
Ooh.
What?
Remember Matchmaker, like matching people
You'd be a
romantically?
good match.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It is a good idea.
I think I'd be good at it.
When we get enough members.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. Remember to go add your donation to the Blossom Fund and become a channel member if you haven't yet. We did a bunch of call-in episodes. We reacted to your STD confessions. I freaked out because one of y'all is attracted to non-binaries and decided to tell us about that.
I didn't really care.
Yeah, well, I was bothered by it. Anyway, become a channel member to watch those. And we're going to watch a gay dating reality show this weekend for our members only. And we'll leave it there for now. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Hit the like button, all of that, and we'll be back with more.
That was
real
a
soon.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
do all of that.
Do every single thing.
Yeah.
Puts
Sometimes I
lotion
think it's
on its skin.
sometimes I think it's overkill that they actually end up doing nothing.
Yeah, probably.
We probably should choose.
Y'all do nothing.
do one of those things.
Every video you need to give one, it's called a SMART goal.
Okay, I'll just pick one. Give us money for Blossom.
Give us $1. Just $1. If everybody does it this week, that we'd have a lot of money. But if we could easily get there.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll be back with more real soon.